Wemaxit YouTube channel. I'm your host, JD. If you're new, please do smash that like button, share, and definitely subscribe. If you're a member of the channel, massive respect to you a lot. And how to become a member of the channel, please do click the join button. Then YouTube will help you and guide you along the way from that point. As you saw on the title head, we're going to be discussing Jamaica U18. The result never went well for them. We're going to go into the Premier League. We're going to go into the championship as well, because obviously we have to do our Reggae Boys abroad, and also we have other in-house like Jamaican contents that we are going to be covering. All right. Yes. So I'm going to start right here, which is yesterday. Premier League, go straight into the other competitions. All right. Yes. So the first one, Bournemouth got a 1-0 victory over Wolves. So that is a very good result for Bournemouth right there. Thought that Wolves would have tried to hold it together, especially if they're actually at home. Bless up yourself, Pillar Gang leader. Thanks very much for being here. Then we have Crystal Palace 2-0 over Newcastle. Amazing. Thank you very much, Pillar Gang leader, for the support. All right, yeah, man. Respect. So 2-0 over Newcastle. That's a good result there for Crystal Palace. With those results, let me tell you where these teams do stand at this point. Bournemouth fully safe, 34 games played. They're on 45 points right there. Wolves still safe as well. They're on 43 points of the 34 games played. All right. Yes, and then now Crystal Palace trying to fight to get to that 40 points. All right, they are fighting to get right there. All right, so they're on 39, and I think they are very much safe with that 39. All right, I think they are very much safe with that 39 right there. So you have two other big results. So you have Manchester United got 3 points, winning 4-2 over Sheffield United. All right. That was needed for Manchester United at this point, but they were playing the bottom team. So them conceding 2 goals playing against the bottom team. Oh, you guys look at that as well. Let me know. Alj, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Massive respect. I think that still don't look good for me still, but I'm glad that Manchester United had gotten all 3 points, but it still don't look good for me. They should not be conceded 2 goals against Sheffield, regardless of what situation. Aldre, big up yourself. Mr. United, big up yourself. 72% possession for Manchester United. To 28, 25 shots, but 10 shots created out of the 28% possession. Right there, 4 shots on target from Sheffield to 13 for Manchester United, 6 blocks to 3. 4 corners to 8, and big chances. They created 2 big chances, scored both of their 2 big chances. Manchester United created 5 out of their 72%, and missed 3 out of the 5. All right, and scored 4. All right, but I still believe that they should have been doing better, at least show some grit defensively. And that's why I do believe that when they come up against the next teams, the big teams, if they don't miss these chances, they tend to not do well. All right. Like if the next teams don't miss those chances against them, they tend to not do well. We have to be honest and unbiased as well. All right. And then now we have the big one, big upset of the day. We had Everton. Everton this season have been hit with all sorts of problems. First, they were deducted 10 points, something of that sort. When they said they're going to try and take off some of the points, then they got deducted more points again as well. So every time they are not certain as to what will happen next. And the fact that they keep on going, I have to say that I respect this team highly. They have always found ways to fight the actual drop. All right. And then defeating Liverpool 2-0 is a big one. Obviously, they had 24% possession, so that's 4 less than Sheffield right there. And Liverpool at 76. Out of that 76, Liverpool got 26 shots off, and Everton had 16 shots off in 24%. All right. And he had 6 on target to Liverpool 7, blocks 4 to 11. All right, big chances. It's 6 big chances for Everton, and they missed 4 out of that 6 big chances. Liverpool missed all 3 of theirs. All right, so that means they scored 2 out of their big chances, and also missed 4. All right, but Liverpool created big chances. Big chances are when you actually in the advanced position over the actual goalkeeper. Those are big chances. All right, yes, and Liverpool created 3, but Everton figured ways out to create more with only 24%. Only Sean Dyche's teams can do madness like that. You get me? Because back to front, over the top, they don't really care. All right, and they have players enough for days to hold up that ball, and they have players running right from left and right off the left and right channels to get the job done. So it will be tough for you majority of the time. All right. So with that said, now it puts Everton on 33 points, which I think the 33 points is actually safe already. The 33 points is already safe for me. I think the 33 points is already safe. What say you? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section if you're rewatching this video. The 33 points is already safe for me. All right? Already safe for me. All right. And Liverpool, after 34 plays, they are 3 points behind Arsenal. And remember, Arsenal has a what I would say now. Arsenal conceded 26 goals, and Liverpool conceded 34. So out of the top 3, Liverpool actually concedes the most, and also they are one above. They have actually scored the least as well out of the top 3 because they scored 75 and actually conceded the most out of the top 3 as well. So I don't believe that goal difference will come in play for them. And it's not good. They're not going to get ahead of that. I think Arsenal will remain um the better goal scored team than them unless Arsenal goes to Tottenham and get 15. You understand me? But as from this point, it looks like everything is going against Liverpool because they are 3 points behind, but also have a big goal difference to make up. A big up yourself, Sheridan. Massive, massive respect, my brother, for the continuous support. All right, and then now you will have Manchester City. Manchester City will be taking on Brighton. We're going to look at that right after, all right? Because we have to go through these things because that's how you will know what's popping. All right. 1 second, guys. Let me can share the video so people will know that I am live. Yes. I've sent the link to Pastor, but I am not sure if he got it because I've not seen him. Okay, it looks like he came in instant as I've said. I've sent it to him. 1 second, people. Let me just copy this and share it around so people could join up. Yes, because we only have 2 hours and we're not going to go past the 2 hours. All right. And thanks to the continuous support from everyone that's viewing the videos, especially the amount of people view the video after. That is the amazing thing about these videos. The amount of people that actually watches the video after. I am very much impressed. So thanks very much. A lot of you guys like the video and also subscribe and share the content. So we will try our best to always put it out for you as best as possible. All right. So as you come in, make sure to smash the like button. All right. So Alj said, JD, you believe Tottenham going to take 4th place? We're gonna get to that. That's what I'm trying to get to. I just wanted to make sure we give everyone their time. So I gave Liverpool their time. All right. So it's Liverpool on 74. I think it's done for Liverpool right here. So Liverpool have 4 more games. Pasta. Liverpool have 4 more games. You think that it's going to be a next twist, or I think it's done? Because for me, I think it's done for Liverpool.
Four more games, possible 12 points. Their opponents include who? Because that's a factor. They have any other?
Their opponent include West Ham at home, at their home, at West Ham at their home, Tottenham at Liverpool, Aston Villa at their home, and Wolves at Liverpool. I think it's done.
The two away games for them are big games.
Yes.
If they get a point from those games, so they are down to what, 8 points if you look at it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because Leon Bailey informed me in August, Leon Giant them will come in a theme pasture. He will kill them off. So 8 points, 74 and 8 is 82. No, that can't win the championship.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. So let me know.
Don't take
All
more
of the
than that.
personnel inside the chat are we watching Liverpool time done? I say yes. No Demo will come and say something different, but we are not Demo. So we can say what we have to say. Sheridan, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Alj says, do you believe? We read that already. MPW94, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Massive respect. Look like you wake up the pastor. And then Premier yourself, bless yourself. Thanks for being here. Hope all is well with you and your family. All right, so that's it for them, and obviously everyone. We talked about Arsenal yesterday, so we don't have to talk about them today again. And then Manchester City coming up. So Manchester City, versus Brighton, in their gaming and one of their gaming and remember they have only played 32 games. Markland, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Um, Demo retires when these things happen. He just finds somewhere to go, and we never hear back from Demo. And he's gonna come here with a fantastic story right after. All right, yes. Best of everyone that's coming in. So later, Brighton versus City. Or you look at that one, Pastor and people inside the chat.
Uh, Good morning to everybody on the stream. Everybody in the chat. Everybody in the chat, rather. Everybody who would rewatch the video. Good morning to the host. Yes, you actually got me into the conversation before I said good morning. So let me fix that. Um, Even though Man City is the third of the teams that I cheer for,
Mm-hmm.
I yes. Somebody asked which team the pastor cheer for, but Man City is number three. Liverpool is the second one. So so I have been saying that it is a dangerous thing for the teams vying for championship title when they allow City to go out front. I don't believe that they are going to be reeled in, despite their opposition that they have. I think they should beat Brighton by 2 goals.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that they'll get those 3 points. I think City is not just the pedigree that they have to cover them. It's when they get on a roll at the end of it. Yeah, they're just gonna take it home.
I would agree
Especially
there.
that they don't have the
I
other
would agree.
competition
I
to
would
worry
agree,
about.
there, Pastor. I would agree with you to say that if they win these two games, which is once they put these two games on the board, and Arsenal will get deflated and they will lose right after. Once they win their two games in a
Yeah,
2 games back to back, and these are the 2 games they have. So if they pass Brighton, they're gonna have Forest right after. Both of them are away games. So if they win these 2 games, they are gonna win the league, and they're gonna win the league by a margin of maybe 6 points. If they
yeah.
win these 2 games, they win the league
I
by that.
I
But
agree. I agree with that.
All right, so let me just go through it. 80, big up yourself, 80. Thanks for being here. Guys, later we are going to be covering Suriname. Me and Sean Base over the next channel. So join my Wemaxit channel as well. Link is in the description. So go over there and support it as well. Sadna, big up yourself. Football Global. Marcelo in the building. Marcelo, Football Global says 2-0 Brighton in the first half. Lose 4-2 second half. Okay. This can be very tricky if Brighton turn up. Yes, man, Brighton is a tough team to play against. Yes, I know that. That's why I said if they do win these two games, I think it's done. Once they, because I know that if you put pressure on Arsenal, they are going to crumble. I just know that. Not gonna ask you, oh, I know it,
Um,
but I know it. All right.
are you saying there will be water on the gunpowder?
Yes, every
Oh my
yes,
lord!
yes. Jaro says 2-2. 2-2. Later, Marcelo said 2-0 City. Big baller Benzema says blessings. Blessings to you. Oh, you are support three teams in the same league. That is just pasta. And
That is pasta.
determined says
It's not. Yeah.
Determined says Zay says early start. No, not an early start. It's just the same time that we normally start between 1 o'clock and 1:30. It's always that time. Determined said JD and Pastor, I hope you and the family doing well. We are doing very well, and I hope you are doing well so we can give you a next show that you get free. All right, yes. Because from yesterday you came in and we said that you have to pay us. You just disappear from out of the conversation. Algae said 2-1 Brighton. So Algae bad mind. All right. So let we not even entertain Algae in bad mind. All right. So, anyways, let me move on to let me move on to let me move on to the championship. We had one game yesterday in the championship. Coventry versus Hull. Two teams vying for one of the playoff spot. All right, Hull came in at 66 with 43 games played, and Coventry came in at 63 with 42 games played. All right, big up yourself, Juras. Um, all right, so we expected a good performance right after them going up against Manchester United, but as we saw with Sheffield, Manchester United is not hard to play good against. So maybe it
Mhm.
was like a false sense of reality. All right, so they got punched up a few times against Hull City, and Hull City took the 3 points. And 40 after 44 games played, they are in 69. So they are 3 points behind Norwich City. All right. So maybe things can still turn for all, but this at this point it's done for Coventry, done completely. We have a few more players played for Coventry, so I'm gonna give it to you. Latibodier, they said that he came off injured in the 68 minutes. Three
Mm-mm.
three
That no good.
clearances. I'm gonna research to see what's going on. Three clearances, three interceptions, one tackle, two dribble pass, and a penalty committed is one. So it was a very bad day for Big Bad Latibodier. Come off injured and also committed a penalty. All right, and got dribble pass twice. Okay, had 28 touches. Out of his 28 touches, he's always good on the ball. 15 of 16, which is 94%. Tried across, it was not good. 1 of 1 long ball, 1 of 4 ground ball, and he had 2 possession loss with 1 foul committed. And that's it for Latibodier before we go to Kasey Palmer. All right. So, what say you, Pastor, on Kasey Palmer right there? And also Coventry.
Well, it's a disappointment because we wanted them to. We want to believe that the quality of the players we have is sufficient for them to strut their stuff in higher level competition. Now, it might not be down to just their quality that their team does not get up, but when you're cheering for them, you have to cheer for the entire team. So it's a disappointment. I wanted them to at least make the to have made the playoff. It give them some more games to really press for something worthwhile. And the truth is, the more players we have at higher level, improve the quality of our team because they're playing against better competition. Better, yeah. So It's a disappointment. Even with Latif giving away the penalty, his stats suggest that he was in the game. So
Yes, he was under pressure. Yes.
they were really up against it. So that in
And you
itself,
remember past it's two teams vying for one spot. Going for a
yes.
shot for one spot
So
in
it
the
was
league.
a dog fight, and he went in, and yeah,
And yesterday I told you that these are the games that you get injured in and as well because you say they like when they're in all of these games. And I said, Most people don't come out of these games, well. All right. So hopefully Latibo there
yeah.
is okay. People,
It
we are going to
it
keep
just
tabs
goes
on
to
that one.
show, JD, that we called it right despite our obvious bias toward the reggae boy players that are present in the team.
Hmm.
We called it right in the sense that if you go in these games as tight as they are and you come out on top, it means that you are worthy of being where we want you to be.
Yeah.
It's not that we are saying you're just going there and you're gonna beat up people. It don't go like that in a dogfight. Even even if they had won, the report say Limbaugh injured.
All right.
So yeah.
So Alger said all underdogs are winning. All right. Drew Ross, big up yourself, said, come on, City. Football Global said, I am trying to badmine City, but I can't. Markland says, man se pasta awaganis. Okay, well, people will say whatever they want. People, as you come in, remember to hit the like button because when you hit the like button, it helps with the visibility of the stream. So if it's one thing we want here is you hitting the like button. How to do so, click the triple dot at the top of the screen and the like and the share and the subscription button will be available to you. Chris, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Bestest documentary. Big up yourself. Thanks for being here. GM Network said Manchester United is winning every game to the end. All of a sudden, them get good, might even win the FA Cup as well. Well, I'm telling you that it's not going to happen. So you're going to realize that it's not going to happen very soon. All right? Pastor, okay, he said Pastor served three masters. All right, you said you're not talking about Arsenal. You said that you have talked about Arsenal yesterday, so that you won't be talking about them today. But I heard you mention Arsenal three times because I had to mention them. All right, so yes. Determined said JD create a Zelle or Cash App account so I can contribute regular to the big bad show. Well, tell you what, if you can contribute regular, I have a PayPal and I have a YouTube channel that says join. So everybody will know that you give me the money. It's public. I don't collect under the table money from people. All right. Worst of the pillow gang masters them. So contribute it to the PayPal. It will be shown. So everybody can know. Say Big Bad determined to support the Big Bad show, and he puts his money that we said he should put. So determine it's there for you. So put it on, it will come up on the screen right here. And
J-
once I go back to my normal system, it will come up on that screen as well. All right. So we had Kasey Palmer in that same game. Kasey Palmer had the best score on his team and the second best score overall. So 8.1 for Kasey Palmer. He had a goal in the game, one shot on target, one off target, one of two dribbles completed. He played the 90 minutes, touches 66, completed 83%, which is 40 of 48 balls, created or had four key passes, tried three crosses, completed none. That's not good. Two of his long ball failed. Created one big chance in the game, so obviously why his stats is so high. Ground was 5 of 10, very good there. Aerial was 1 of 2, last position 18 times, which you already hear about the long ball and also the crosses, so you know where that went. Committed two fouls and was fouled three times. Had one tackle and one dribble pass in the game. All right, so a good game for Kasey Palmer based off the stats right there. What you make of him, Pastor, and will you have him back in the team?
I want to say, look at the flip side of his game, not in terms of his grading now to Latibodir. Um, I am heartened that his performance would have been such, which is what I wanted it to be in this dogfight. I had hoped that they would have come out on the winning side, which would give them the opportunity to go to the playoff. But better luck next time, Mr. Palmer. And yeah, that's how that's what we want to see them play. And him being so injury prone, thank God he was in the fight. It's sure he was in the fight. He was fouled 3 times, and he himself was involved in 2 fouls. So that he committed. So that is five where you'd have said, ah, not acceptable clashes, which is much for a man who is playing up there. So you know, I mean, good performance
All
from
right.
him, and I kind of appreciate that. JD,
All
just one thing for the persons who support Star Wagonist from 1982, me I support 3 teams. So yes, me a Wagonist, but I'm from 1982, and
right.
they have been held in the same time.
Pastor, but
Yes.
they're going to see you're very whole. And I'm not going to get involved in that
No,
pseudo
no,
nonsense.
no, no.
Oh,
I
Pastor, why
started
God?
I
Oh,
started
God.
watching football international on black and white TV
Oh,
in
Lord. It looks like
Jamaica.
you are one of the
JBC
first one
TV
to have
only one
TV.
station.
It looks like you're one of the
Sunday
first persons in Jamaica have TV over us.
Sunday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. Football International, JBC TV from
Yes, so
1982. Yeah.
I had not said anything, Sir Pastor. All I'm saying is, big ups to you and your black and white TV. You're doing very
Mm.
good right there. So, Pillow Gang, if someone say pillow, yes, we had say pillow. So we have 90 odd people in the house. Please do better than the 26 likes on the video. Get the likes up because you know the thing go. To get the show started, get us up to 50 so we can smoke down the building at the right level. 90 said there is no team in the world I would rather watch than Man City, followed by Napoli, Arsenal, and Brighton. All right. Then we have Pastor is ancient wagonist. I don't think that's the case, but we're not going to fight about the pastor at this point. Let
No
me
more comment.
let me get into the big talks them now because we have the top of the table. Top of the table in our title stated that Jamaica conceded 10 from Turkey. All right, so we wanted to discuss that, but we want to make sure we go into details of everything because we don't like to jump and talk clueless and talk over the top for no reason because we don't want to sensationalize anything. All right, so Jamaica had a U18 team put together to go on a tour. They had played 2 teams overall. They lost both of the games. Yes. So we're gonna get into it. And then you can learn about some of the players them and then we can have the conversation. All right. Yes, big up yourself, Pagan, massive respect. All right. So, anyways, this is from the start. This is from the start. Jamaica U18 suffer heavy defeat to Turkey. All right. Jamaica under 18 Reggae Boys suffered a heavy 10-1, which is 9 goals. To 9 goals overall an aggregate, all right? Or 9 goals after you take away the one. Yes. To Turkey, because I know why I'm saying that, you know. I know why I'm saying that. All right, because people act like they have dementia. All right. So we're gonna come back to it. All right. Um to Turkey in their second match at the UEFA Friendship Tournament yesterday at the Arslan Zeki Sports Complex. All right, goals from Mustafa, Gok Dennis, Mohamed Kaya, Emery, Gokai, along with individual brace from Kagri, Fidai, and Kuchu and Yalin. Those names are not in my department, so I'm gonna butcher them. Oran Watson scored the lone consolation goal in the 88th minute for Jamaica after the onslaught from Turkey, the Turkish attackers. All right. Fenerbahce striker Fidai opened the scoring in the 11th minute of play for Turkey, and Jamaica were down 6-0 by the end of the first half. Turkey started the second half like they did the first half, scoring their seventh goal in the 64th minute. off a strike from Galatasaray forward Delict, who returned to score their final goal in the 79th minute. The defeat is Jamaica's second loss in as many games after their opening 2-1 loss to Saudi Arabia. Jamaica sit at the bottom of the table with 0 points. In their next game, the Junior Reggae Boys face Mali to complete a Group A action as they seek their first win. Mali have recorded a 2-2 draw against Turkey and a 4-2 win over Saudi Arabia already in the tournament, which we already saw Mali at the World Cup. Mali's infrastructures are one of the best in Africa, and they are one of the emerging teams. They are not easy to play against. They are a tough team to play against. All right. So let us start by. It's not the first time Jamaica losing by a margin of 9 within our 18, U18 and 23, because we had sent some of our best ballers. I think it's the last as you know, people they have dementia because it happened before. But sadly, it's every time when we do things like this, it go this way. So, Pastor, give your take on this tournament so far. What you got from it, and then we can continue our conversation.
O Lord, have mercy on me. Was the kneeling drunkard's plea. And as he knelt there on the ground, God from heaven looked down. It is not expected that at certain time of the day, in certain sovereign state, that you would meet a drunken man, because the places that retail alcoholic beverages should not have been open at that time. Insanity is defined by Einstein and Franklin as doing the same thing the same way all the time, expecting a different result. Now, for all the persons who bear the documentation of Jamaica, I want you to hear me say this, because I'm not going to say it how you want me to or think I should. Jamaica did not get 10-1 from Turkey. No. The criminal act of taking up soldiers who did not go through proper training and carry them to a battlefield is going to give you the result of a massacre, because they are ill equipped to handle what you carry them to go do. And so the JFF and the entire selection panel and coaching staff, the xenophobes in position, got 10-1, not Jamaica. Because Jamaica motto says, out of many, we are one people. If you are going to be labeled the representative, a team representing Jamaica, the team must be drawn from the total collective of what makes up Jamaica. So it is only a true reflection of what Jamaica has to offer when you select the best of what Jamaica has to offer to represent the country. So this meetup, this massacre, is Mr. Ricketts and company that get it, not Jamaica.
All
The
right. So.
clubs that the players were selected from:
Mhm.
Phoenix, Cavalier, Mount Pleasant, Chapelton Maroon, which is CC basically. Um, I think I heard one player from Arnett Garden name. Um, I think when I checked, I think it was 7 clubs that they came from.
Okay. I will
These
get the list.
players,
I will get list for tomorrow's stream.
some
Mhm.
of these players are aligned to JPL clubs. Maybe only 2 of these players have played as many as 5 games. Maybe only 2.
Oh, I mean, they're playing professional games. That's what you're talking about.
Yes, they're aligned to some clubs. Many of them are aligned to
Okay, but
clubs.
they are not. They have not reached the level of getting professional minutes. That's what you're saying.
No,
Okay.
no, that's what I'm saying. No.
So you're so Pastor. Let me start break it down then. Since you went on and you rant, and you fully deserve to do whatever you want to do. To be honest, um. So for persons who would say, because I
When,
agree.
by the way, when I say clubs, I mean clubs and academies, because Phoenix and something there are not really clubs. So clubs and
All right.
academies, 7 different institutions, 7 different entities. Continue what you're saying.
All right. So all I'm saying is, oh, 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 because obviously Mr. Wall said winning should not be the main ingredients, but to progress. So what would you say? You wouldn't take this, but you would have took on the players them and try and make sure you get familiar with the players them first before you go outside and took a tournament. That's what you said. The only way, because for instance, we can't get the overseas players them now because any overseas players wouldn't be available. But we can't say that because these guys playing for Fenerbahce and stuff, they were available as well. So we can't actually say anything that we couldn't get these other players. So I don't know that work out, but I put it say we couldn't get the players then, Pastor. What would be your comfortable approach towards developing these kids, the other ones them that's left in Jamaica?
JD, 2 of the players that were involved in the massacre play for Galatasaray.
Yes, I know.
Good.
So
So it is not just the professional, it is not just the players that are in first team that are available to us under 18. There are academies in the diaspora that have players that are not bound by international window that we could call on. So that excuse will fly only in a certain arena. It don't fly with me. When you say Jamaica, we need to get to the place where we are operating within the definition of Jamaica. Jamaica is not just the schools and clubs on the island. That's not Jamaica. In fact, there are more Jamaicans living outside of Jamaica than those who live in Jamaica. And by the way, a lot of these Jamaicans who live outside Jamaica still have all their paperwork intact, so they have voting rights. They can, any election, they can just turn up in Jamaica and vote.
okay, but yes, okay. So that means you're not. So you're saying nothing. You wouldn't put out nothing. So you wouldn't go to this tournament. Because remember, what they are going to claim to say they are doing better than before. So they're trying to get teams to youth tournaments, which was very much far and sketchy. Remember, we have a few youth tournaments that they never even turned up to. Um, what the last one in Sweden, was it Sweden? They never turned up for that U15 one, and they never turned up for the Caribbean one because they couldn't really fit certain bills. You remember all of those things took place. So that's why I'm
Listen,
asking you.
listen to the words that they use. Even when you politicize John Wall's statement, he is going down the same slippery slope. You cannot say you're going into a competition to get them competitive minutes, but then you're saying winning is not important. What is the purpose of a competition? The definition, the pure definition, JD, of the words they are using. If you're not contemplating winning, you don't go into competition. There is a win-loss factor in the definition of the word. These You cannot organize a competition, JD, without preparing for a winner. It does not fit in the definition of the word. All of what they're saying is pure hogwash.
So, Pastor,
Intelligent people listen to these things, JD.
yeah,
Intelligent people
so
listen to these things.
Pastor, I'm just
Yes.
asking. I'm just
Yeah,
asking you.
you're asking the right
Yeah,
questions too.
I'm
I'm
just
just
asking because
answering.
I've not given my true take on it as yet. I've not even spoken on the matter. I'm just asking you the questions because remember that's what they're saying. Because I listened to a program yesterday, where it has the coach on it, which is Freddie Butler. Am I wrong? Freddie
No
Butler is
man,
the
I
coach,
think
right?
the CC coach is
The
there.
CC coach, Freddie Butler, is the U17, and the CC coach is the U18. What that's the difference,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
That's between. All right, so
Along with I think Rudolph Austin, I think I heard that is with him. So it's
so
him and Rudolph Austin over there.
So Rudolph Austin and my boy there, all right. Because I was listening to Freddie Butler talking about something. No, the reason why I wanted to talk about Freddie Butler because he's overseas. He's overseas, and I would like to see how someone from our country go overseas and evaluate talents and return. So I was watching a program which is the I am sure program. You can go and watch it. I thought it was he asked some good questions there because he was trying to ask him like obviously the host thought that w- there was separation between the local guys them and also the overseas guys them because they are professionals. And he's saying that all Jamaicans are the same. I don't think it's a big difference. It's only exposure one want. And from I heard that I've listened to him as aside, but I'm saying yeah, I think this is the problem, right here. So even in your soul, you is a because you said you have the European license B. So I know you know the truth, but you can't even tell the damn truth. So this is why we keep on selling things down the line, and then we only take these players when we only want them, like is exactly to the time. So when people ask why we always never prepared, this is the reason why we never prepared. Because we call upon the people with help only when the time comes. Because
Failing to
our
prepare.
sole goal is sadly our sole goal is to just develop youth players in Jamaica. And if people come up to me and tell me that our main importance is to sell players, I would not say they are lying. Would not because that's the only thing can make sense. Because if you come to the mathematics and said to me that it's only 1% of the 100% of footballers actually make it professional, but yet still you are going to take players from the lowest level. So that means that it's going to be even more limited for them to be a part of the 1%. Why are you trying to force over the top so much? And why are you telling people that um a Jamaican here so and a
Under the
Jamaican there
guise of
this thing?
development.
That just I'm listening to you. I respect what you're trying to do. I respect your studies and everything. But that just sounds like it's not accurate. And I don't believe that because nobody, I can't just say a man born a Mali and a man born a England because they have the same genetic, they're the same. That just don't sound right to me. I know that the man that go to Mali, born in Mali, and he started his the one outside of born in England started his training from 5 years old to 15. He's gonna be light years better than the next one. You understand me? It's gonna be light years better. JD Butler have players that he is working with for months in the US. So he was here last week to work with the local players. Marlon, I've listened to him. I've listened to him. I heard what he said. You know, I Pastor, can you figure a way to turn the volume down? I've heard what he said, Marlon, and I never misrepresented him. But I don't believe it. I don't believe it's just exposure players want. That would defeat the purpose of people developing a system for 20 years to get people on the same level. And we keep on making that mistake, Marlon. I think that is where we have our
It is no
problem.
longer a
I
mistake.
can tell you. No, no, I have the class as a mistake because if we keep on saying that we are this great and we can't achieve it, this is where the mistake starts from. You understand me? Because we keep on thinking that we are good as everybody else, which is not true. We have to work to be good, and I'm tired of these lies because that's why I mentioned that we got 9 before. So every time we hype up ourselves and go overseas and think that we are all that good, we get embarrassed. We get really calmer every time we come with the same approach. Remember, when back when we change, we switch back, we get 6 to in a national team, we get 6 to as well. So every time we switch to go back to the narrative of wanting to use only our our not so educated players, them we get some big numbers. We get 6 in the national team, we get 9 with the U23, then we get 10-1, and oh Lord, I am not asking you if Mali is going to win that game. We might be lucky to get anything close to 5. All right? Because it's not
Mali beat
not
the Turkish team that gave us 10-1 by
no, they
four
drew no,
goals.
they drew no, they drew 2-2 with Turkey.
Tur- uh, two, oh, so it's the
And
team that gave us
no,
2-1, they
they
beat
defeated
4-4.
Saudi 4.
Yeah.
They defeated Saudi 4-2 and 2-2 with Turkey. So I can see the same amount as
JD,
well.
Mr. Speed will say this. He does not have anything to do with the selection of the team. He's not.
Yeah, but
However,
why were you
no,
making
hold
that
on. I'm
assumption?
going I'm going somewhere with this. However, there are quite a few players in this squad attached to the club Mr. Speed is attached to.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So there is no arguing around the lack of quality and the lack of development and the lack of ability in these players to compete with their cohorts on the international stage. There is no arguing around it. It is evident for the umpteenth time that the Jamaicans playing football in Jamaica, born in Jamaica, is not at the same level in their age group on the international stage. The
No, it's not.
development is a
No, it's
minimum of
not.
5 years difference, JD.
No, Basta. That's what I'm trying to bring the facts. We saw them play U15s. We saw them play U15s. We saw them play the U17s. We saw them play U20s. And there is no level that I've seen a Jamaican team played in. We have to be honest. A full Jamaican team played in youth tournament that will look like we're on the level of nobody in no level of football. Because remember,
In no age group.
Pastor, because you're gonna shout. I know that you're passionate about this, but I have to just put the facts. We went in the Caribbean or the Concacaf the other day, and we got smoked by 80. Smoked. We had some good other results. But every game, the only way we can look like we're doing something is the same thing we always talk about. We are big and fast, and that is the same thing Freddie Butler tried to lament on. And we need to move past that. Football don't rely on big and fast anymore. I respect what Mr. Freddie Butler trying to do, but at some point, we have to say maybe he doesn't want to offend other people because maybe his action is a little bit different from what he's saying, because you hear people saying that he brought in other guys. So I love what you're doing, but you have to say it as well, because sometimes if you give them money, if you swell them head up too much, They are going to fight you out and put the players them what them want in it, Mr. Butler. All right. So I would love for you to just say what you're doing. Just read off the paper what you're doing. If you get 5 man from overseas, yeah, this is what we are working with because this is what we are doing. Done. But don't talk about all them of the similar attributes and they are not far from others and the only exposure they need. Nothing no go so, brother. Nothing no go so. Nothing at all no go so. I've seen them and they are not at the same level. We have to be honest. It's not real. Look, let me just talk reality. After all of those tournaments we just talk about, where we get trashing, every tournament, then we go up to the main teams. We saw Cavaliers played with Cincinnati. It was not a competition. We saw Waterhouse played at a league just started in Canada, and they played Pacific FC. They got six as well. So we saw Cavaliers and Waterhouse played Violet AC, which is in the Caribbean region, which is 80. We never played football for a billion years, and they never won either. You understand me? Then we see, or we go down to a lower level competition. Then we saw Cavaliers played um um my boy Robin Hood from Suriname. Suriname won that competition as well. You understand me? Not saying you don't compete at certain levels, but these are low levels. And I know where it's coming from. This story of we have to make local football be the center of attraction. Ballocks. Ballocks, you know why I'm going to say it's crap we're talking? When we said we need to make local football be the center attraction. Why I said it's crap we're talking? If everybody what we want from local, we're taking them from overseas clubs. Why we need to make why we need to make an excuse for the local system? Why can't just continue to develop or we keep on pumping the money off sales? Why we can't use the money of sales and of what we do in competitions to keep on doing the thing rather than we have to stop certain things to force certain things to pay it attention. That makes no sense because Suriname, Robin Hood, not they're not stopping Suriname for Robin Hood. They're still. I'm gonna do a video later and around 50 new players they're on the list for Suriname. Some of them might can't just be on the cusp to make Netherlands, but they can't. So they are going to come and represent Suriname. You understand me? I don't hear people saying, oh, then Robin Hood just won something that Cavaliers never won, or none of them never won. But yet still, we can still have that talk. You get me? We can have that talk to keep on doing this foolishness. No, we have competitions. Concacaf spent or pushed at least what 10 more million dollars. Listen to this here, guys. To make the World Cup is 12 million. Concacaf put 10 million in competition, 10 million US in competitions, excluding the national programs. So if we say we're so good and the exposure we want, we're not actually in a competition, them. Hey, Pastor? We're not in a U20, we're not in a U17, we're not in a club competition, we're not in everything. So then why is it we say we want exposure, but every time when we get exposure, we need to not get that, we need to not capitalize off that exposure. What we need to do is to remove what we have now, which is the overseas guys, them, professional trained footballers, and then put the other ones them in for no reason. Because you just get your exposure right there by going into the CONCACAF or qualify for the CONCACAF. That is enough exposure. If you're good enough, you're going to be seen. You're going to be seen. The facts is there. So we need to move away from this dumbass thing of telling people about who is equally as good as who, because it's not true. It is not true. I know some people delusional, but I don't think Freddie Butler is delusional. I just think he couldn't say it and he has to play a kind of possum to just make everything slide. You understand me? But I think we need to be realistic with them people like John Wall. Just come out and say, brother, you're not good enough, But this is how you're gonna get good enough. We have to do this for 10 years. By going through this phase of thing, we need such and such money. That is what you have to do. That you need somebody to tell them people a reality because they are not going to stop. I'm telling you. Because they believe that foolishness. That the man clip something and I saw the man, yo, I know you are going there because the pillow man never gonna get upset if I go in that one. All right.
JD, as of today, I'm not going to say it like how you just said it, that it is not true. The blatant, malicious, destructive lies being told by the football administrators and coaches of Jamaica need to stop. It is a lie, plain and simple.
But Christopher
Jamaica
Wright,
does not have.
Pastor Christopher Wright said it the right way. He said if him talk the way we want him to talk, JD, he will not be in the job. He's just trying to sound balance. But that's not true. So Christopher Wright has say, everybody has say, them don't believe him because it's not true. But he has to talk that way because we just saw with John Wall's style. John Wall couldn't produce other things. Yeah, but the thing, people, we want to accept what's going on. But we just don't want to hear the foolishness. If you tell me, say, if I'm going there just to showcase my players them, and we have a 2 year deal to get these players up to a level, and at this point we prove that we couldn't get the other guys them for going a U18, then I can say, all right, then we're gonna support it. But just be transparent and don't sell with a bag of BS. You understand me? Don't sell with a bag of BS. And then expect us to eat it up. It's not gonna work. That's all I'm saying. To be honest,
But
that's all it's
JD,
faster.
JD, the very let me use this to answer what you just said. The JFF is not going to contract somebody, pay them to do that because they are set in their mindset to use the national team as their showcase for the underdeveloped players that they want to sell. And I'm going to use this to balance that argument. You remember the statement that was made why we do not get an international coach for the present female team, senior female team?
Yeah.
That same statement is the reason they will never get a coach to do what you just suggested. No coach is going to come to Jamaica, put his win ratio record on the line without a certain amount of money, and it clearly stated his job description that he's not here to win competitions, he's here to so you're going to have to hire a development coach to deal with development, not to go into competitions, because going into competitions
But
really.
but, but Pastor, Pastor, look, we're not. I can understand why they go into the competitions, but just tell the people directly what you're doing from before. Because why I'm saying that? Remember, we don't have the capital. So obviously, if we hire a coach to develop, we have to pay him, right? So in order to get compensation for that paying of that coach and to continue to pay him, you have to go into competitions, even if you're going to lose. But don't sell me. One thing I don't like, I will watch you get 10 and I will analyze the games because at youth levels, sometimes the score is not the main thing about it. That's why I'm so upset, because it's not just the score alone. It's the movements of the players and where they are at the level. And so all I'm saying is, Pastor, all I'm trying to say is, so for me, I am satisfied if we go and get 10 or 15. But at least tell me say we are working on something. But don't tell me say the only thing we need is exposure because we're just as good as anybody else, because that is not true. That means when we have an under 18 or next U20 competition coming, you're gonna try to fool me for slipping 20 of them ball a day. When really and truly we have the actual other man we develop. You see where I'm trying to go? So I'm not going as hard as you. I will listen and I will accept certain things, but I'm just saying don't use it to try skip over other things. Because if we accept that of them be on the same level as the other man them, that's when we are gonna have the problem going forward, which is them slip all them level man back in the next team and then a foolishness are going. When we have the option to pick the actual man them, we actually develop properly and can do the job at this point. You see where I'm
if
coming from?
if we put the requisite infrastructure in place, the certified or qualified coaches, development coaches in place,
Mm-hmm.
you will get the results 5 to 10 years down the road if
Thank
you
you,
go
Pastor.
at the
But
age
you
group
will get
level.
6 and 7 now. 10.
That is what development means. Hold on. The reality, JD, and I'm going to use the present senior national coach, is that he is brought in. Yes, primary objective is World Cup 2026. However, a large part of what he is supposed to do is to focus on upgrading what is in Jamaica. My concern is the method or the avenue through which lifting the level in Jamaica is being articulated that he needs to do it. It cannot work that way because that is going to compromise the coach's CV. That is going to compromise the coach's CV because the coach cannot win nothing with the players locally born and underdeveloped. Cannot win nothing. So, a better avenue to achieve the development is to get the developed players that are available to us, win the competition, get the prize money, and pump it into the infrastructural and player development in the country.
But that's what we are saying from day one, Pastor. But I still hear people with this take of we can't go nowhere without this and without that. And I'm telling you, people don't listen to them because it's a lie. It's just a false pride where them have, and them realize that them can't win the xenophobic argument anymore. So them just bring a next narrative to come and tell you that, oh, we can't do it without local players them. No, we can't do it without local players them. We just need we local players them to be doing their damn thing, because if you have so much competitions here, you can learn football if you have the you have. I'm going to talk up. The next topic is about academies. So I'm going to talk about that now. So why we have so much damn academies? If we players them now get good by the time we reach U17s. So what the purpose of having academies? Just to take people picnic and sell them, and sell them falls up, and then them come back 2 years, because the academies must have to be doing something. The clubs them in Jamaica must have to be doing something at youth age. So why we keep on spinning back the narrative? You understand me? And that is my biggest problem. I think we either need to change the rules. We need to change the rules to listen to me now. Every club, all the Premier League club, them, we're gonna give them the funding. Seems as if we can't get the infrastructure them ready now. For the next 5 years, every Premier League club will have from 10-year-old to 17-year-old academies. That's what we're gonna put in place. We're gonna have the Youth 17 league and maybe a possible U20 for the next 5 years. All of that money we're gonna give to all of these clubs so we can cut out the academies that we can't really monitor. Because we hear that it's a challenge to really monitor, regulate all academies in the country. I heard that is a challenge. Well, that is what we have to do then. You get me? Just to make sure we can get them kids here from 10-year-old to learn all the basics when they're until they're 13. And then they start to show some of them 13 to 14 to 15, and we can use the Manning Cup for that, the Youth 17 for that, and also the outside competition for the Jamaica competitions. If you make it, if you're good as the other peers that's coming in, because we're not going to chop off none of the competition them for no what you call it, for no quota system. You get me? Okay, you could have solved it without even have to attack the quota system. You for putting for force a quota system in, and that the only way to do it, the pastor, is just pay them to have the academy. Pay them to have the academy, which is the only one that you can trust, which is the JPL clubs them at this point. Just pay them to have the
They,
academy every single year then for the next 5 years. Tell me if that wouldn't
you
work.
know what? You know what? A lot of people have bought onto JD. The fact that they have moved it, the xenophobia and quota system from the senior national team, everybody seem comfortable that it is okay to be at under 20 down. Everybody seem okay with it. Now, I am saying the national team, no national team. If it is 5 year rule and it says national team, it should not be exclusive to any geographic location. The national team must be encompassing of all available Jamaican
All right.
players.
All right.
National, that's what national mean. All encompassing. It cannot be that our national teams reflect segregation, xenophobia, and tribalism.
All right, Pastor. Let me stop right here on this because we have some comments coming in. Duckland says no. Terran Francis says last summer Harborview football team come Brooklyn, New York. We use pick up team and beat from Brooklyn. Okay, okay. Send me the footage of that thing. So we can add it to our collection. Man, them think football no play a over Turkey. Know them know the truth, but I think they knew that football player Turkey. Turkey has one of the best leagues. Brian says, also be let's be fair. No, Brian, we have mentioned this already. I've mentioned this already about the availability of players. But what Pastor used and killed my argument is to say that you had players in Turkey that was available as well. You understand me? And they are playing for registered clubs. So it always comes down to if a club want to release a player, and once you show the interest of a player, they are going to release the players them at that level because the exposure is always important. And Brian Mighty, I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. So I don't think they actually reach out for these players at this point. Brian Mighty. I'm almost. I don't know if that's the case, but I'm almost certain that is the actual case. All right. Sir Francis, JD, we did have all the grass. We did have all that grassroots. All right. Um. All right. So yeah. So Pastor said him thing, but you sometimes you're trying to reason, and it's like you have to pick and choose a word. Um. Like you can't stay in reality. You can't talk the truth. It makes you feel uncomfortable sometimes on these topics. All right, so guys, we are 1 hour in and we're on 55 likes. Do better than that. Get the likes up on the video. Let we get to 100. I know sometimes people forgot about like, but what you need to do is click the triple dot at the top of the screen, and the like will present itself. We're not here to make friends, we are here to discuss the topics them, and anywhere it goes, we have to say it, people. We can't lie to people. We have to say it, all right? And my take is if we wanted players, um, I don't think we wanted no player, no additional player. We could have gotten other players because clubs would love to send out their players for these exposures. I'm telling you, clubs will love it. All right. What about the coaching too, JD? We're going to discuss that as well. So for the final game, I think all of these teams are ahead of this Jamaica team. So I don't expect nothing from the Mali team more than a next result that maybe our next result that maybe not go in favor maybe not go in favor of Jamaica again. It might not be the same result because maybe they realize that okay, we can't go toe to toe with someone, so let we kind of arrange it a little bit different. But I expect them to lose again, but not the way. I would be very shocked if we get 10 again. Because now you see that you can't go up with those players. And the Turkey team, they're physical, but they don't have the same makeup as Mali. Mali have similar makeup to
Mali might be
Jamaica.
faster, JD. The Mali that you know.
Pastor, I know the player them, so that's what I'm explaining to the people. I'm saying the Mali teams is a little bit faster, but they don't play the transitional play like Turkey as well. So sometimes Jamaica teams struggle when the ball moves because all of our practices are based on big, fast, and strong. You understand me? So when you move the ball, your muscles them and the oxygens them work really faster, and you deteriorate faster. So a team like Turkey is similar to Spain style football faster. They are faster than the Spain guys, but they are still technically good as well. So maybe Mali won't resort to that, but they will still be problematic with their style and cause all sorts of problem. So maybe Jamaica could deal with it and stay defense and try and keep it down and maybe accept six or something like that. Yeah, but I don't think we have any chance to win it. To be honest, that's my honest take. All right. All right, let me just give them take a. Why would we want to reduce the amount of academies by forcing them into clubs? That is counterproductive. No, that is not counterproductive because if we want, oh, remember our problem, in these statements, what I'm realizing, they can't keep track of the players, them growth. So I'm saying no. Seems as if like, oh, you guys are already aligned with the Premier League clubs. Why not just invest directly in these Premier League clubs so you can have statistical reports on these players every single time, and then we can cut out this BS of having mathematics going into all of these U teams. That's what I'm saying. Um, Richard Crawford said Craig Butler said Phoenix Academy is registered as a club. What a judgment. All right. Okay. Um, a realignment in the JPL teams would be needed perhaps geographically on the island. So JD, what is the excuse for the CAC games team that got dog walk? Um, they were still trying out things. They were still trying out things in those teams as well, and those were mixed teams. Those were mixed teams, so we can't beat them. Those were mixed teams. We had a few overseas guys on it. All right, we had my boy from Leicester on it. We had my boy from Wolves on it, Tyler Roberts on it. We had a defender, a tall centre back on it as well. So we had a few players on it. So even that I will accept. Once it have something else, I am okay with it. But the one-sided thing that not working for me. All right. Dean Sewell says that concept can't be correct. In any form, speed of play is determined by the quick movement of the ball. Not all players are fast, but slow players can play the ball fast. But Sewell, what I've said to you, I have started my reasoning from where I see how people judge and talk in Jamaica. It's always it's always about big, fast, and strong. Right. Marlon, and me a fight about Phoenix. I'm gonna get to Phoenix right after now. And this is where the show gonna mash up. This is where the show gonna mash up. So let me just talk about this first, and we digest it fast because I don't want to start on Phoenix. All right. Yes. So Dean Sewell, continue. I remember that was based on what I've heard the coaches stated, what they used as their model to start. So they are based their models off because they are big, fast, and strong. All right. So that's what they have based their model around. So answer me on that. So let me move on to Phoenix now. Phoenix. So Phoenix, I've gotten a letter here for April 23rd, 2024. All right. Phoenix Sports Management Limited, 23A Oak Ridge, Kingston, and Jamaica. All right. So Phoenix Sports Management Limited now. All right. And this is what the letter says. All right. Listen good, Listen good. Listen good, people. Listen good. The Phoenix All Stars Football Academy, in collaboration with Phoenix Sports Management. Yes, I'm reading it first, then we are gonna talk on it. I'm gonna read the facts out on the screen. All right. And as you could see, let me make sure I show you. I have the letter here, so it's a fact. I'm reading off something. All right. So the Phoenix All Stars Football Academy, in collaboration with the Phoenix Sports Management, and Michael Apazon would like to invite your club to participate in a showcase game versus our elite under 20 squad, May 1st to 24th. No, to E7, 2024. All right. The game will be viewed by the owner and technical director of Amarby, Salzburg, and Vejle, and Bad Luck, and AIK, and Patrick with Mark, the biggest agents in Scandinavia. We will have the manager of Chelsea, Chelsea's captain, Reece James, Mike Apazon, which I heard that he had done more things as well, but I won't speak on it because that will mash up the show. And our very own renowned manager, Craig Butler, and on hand to select players. All right. So our very own Craig Butler, internationally renowned manager, Craig Butler. Let me continue. Let me continue. The ultimate goal of Phoenix is to provide opportunity to clubs to get their players transferred. We will create the environment in and in return we would request that should a player be selected, Phoenix Sports Management will receive 30% of the transfer fee and 20% of the sell on. Please advise us of your willingness to participate by April 24th, 2024. International ETA, read on. Oh my God. So I've learned a lot out of that. First, I've learned that Phoenix, Mr. Butler is a world-renowned manager at this point. Never heard him class himself that way, but I guess it's something that he has added to his title. I've heard that. I've heard that. Let me tell you what I've heard. I've heard that um, he's not only looking at his players them now, he's trying to open up to the whole Jamaica players to come in. And based off that, because developmental funds won't be applied to him based off the age that they are trying to look for, they want 30%, which is directly to the Phoenix Sports Management. So you're going to sign over to Phoenix Sports Management. So you're going to get 30%. And then they're going to sign a sell-on fee. So that means the secondary transfer, he will have a 20% stake in that. So 50% overall over 1.5 transfers. But the other day, let me start right here. But the other day, Mr. Spade said he wanted him 60,000 because he signed a player and they wanted the player to transfer over to Mr. Butler. And everybody said Mr. Speed is the wickedest man on planet Earth. So how are we going to approach this now? What you guys learned from this? Because now, what I've learned, you want other people players, and a 50% you want in a game where the other people will be there that are certified scout. So they know what they want. So when they pick the player, you are going to take 50% out of it because you are the one that brought the opportunity to these people.
Not correct.
I want to hear what these pillar man have to say about that. Because you know what you're when I got this letter, you know what I had to say? It looked like me if I just call my friend him from a club now. Call my friend him from Rotterdam, call my friend him from several of the clubs them and just come to Jamaica and come and exploit people pitney and tell them 10%.
JD, let me begin by saying credit must be given to Mr. Butler. And I'm not going to get into who constructed the letter that you read. I'm not going to get into that. Credit must be given to Mr. Butler for publishing said letter with
Okay.
those clearly defined stipulations, contractual uh, contractual obligations, clearly legally defined. Credit to Mr. Butler for that. It is not actually
Yes, okay. So
50%.
so transparency, Alj, transparency. We had already agreed that the transparency is okay. So transparency. But is that really helping anybody?
No,
Is
hold
that
on.
really helping
It is
anybody?
not. It is not really correct to say 50%. 30% of the
The
transfer
first,
fee.
yes, that is the
thirty
first
percent of
one.
the transfer
And
fee.
then the second one would be
And then
from
he
Ceylon.
wants 20% of another fee.
Yes, so
So it's
that
not
means
actually
so
fifty percent.
if you get better pasta and get a bigger transfer, 20% of
No,
that
no, no.
would have
It
been
doesn't. No, no. The transfer fee might be, let's say, $100,000. He wants $30,000 of that. The salon fee may be $2 million.
yes, sir.
He
That
wants
no,
20% of that. No,
yeah,
no.
that's
I'm
okay.
just saying it doesn't add up to 50% of anything.
No, it's add up. So no, Pastor, I'm not gonna change
He
it.
will
But
earn more money
Pastor,
even though the percentage is
I
less.
know it's more, but because me don't want to pillow man them kill me, I just said it that way. The second sail on. All right.
Well, I am not fighting that the pillow men don't kill me. I am a licensed burial officer, so tell the pillow man them say if a war them want, and me do the committal. 20% of the sell-on fee is going to be far more than the 30% of the transfer fee. Far more.
Yeah, but I know that. I know that.
However, however, it is clearly defined, so you cannot attend this function and claim no foul
That you
play.
never know. Okay.
You can't attend and claim no foul play. He has stated it. Whether or not it is fair to ask this of players that you did not develop, you're just giving opportunity to, is a total different conversation. So, again, let me go to say kudos to them for the way the document was structured, and then point out the obvious hypocrisy and double standard as it relates to the player that was in the debacle from Cavaliers the other day with the 400 US dollars.
Yes, yes. Well,
Good.
you know, so that was my only argument. I started with. I've not said anything as yet, you know. And I heard people talk about me. I've never said anything as yet.
So it is clear that all parties concerned are aware of these different transfer fees being a part of a professionally run organization. So if you take up yourself and refuse to pay it, how now you create a document to demand it? That's open hypocrisy. And these are the things that hinder progression within organizations. Because you have one person who believe they have a right to get something that they do not believe others have a right to get the same. That is what I will say on the letter. It's properly constructed, clearly explaining the positions or expectations. So you cannot fault them for that.
All right. So let me
I
ask
will
you a
say this
question.
one other thing. If you have the clout and the ability to organize such a thing, kudos to you. It is a good thing. Whether or not anybody will take you up on it is
All right.
for
So
another time.
we have done for said. Well, let's see if people come out. I don't see any issue with it. People must know what they want or don't want. All right. As you said, the issue with the player was that the player was saying he didn't sign anything, hence alerting some foul play. But we had cleared that Algae and it still continues. Dockland said, JD, you need to go back to maths class. So what have I said wrong, Dockland? Because I saw people, anytime I read out something, they're acting like they are seeing something different from me. So I don't even acknowledge them anymore because I realize that some people just come here to try cause a problem. And I try to avoid them. You understand me? So tell me what have I read wrong? Because I've read the numbers that are two separate things. So I have no time to in any argument with people. So let me know where my mathematics was off, Dockland, and I can address you. And then next time when you say it now, I can just avoid the overall too. All right? Yes. Um, because I've read out the thing and I'm on this story now. So which other story you're talking about, Dockland? JD. So you see, my friend, we always struggle with our local born players. The team Renee Simons was okay. But I can't argue that one. I can't argue that one. I'm trying to categorize the actual conversation. So I'm on the Craig Butler statement right here, when I have on the paper right here, and I've read it out, and I've stated what I'm stating. All right, you take a picture and you look at it and tell me what you want to say about it. Okay. Narmi Ford said it's not 50% overall, JD. All right. So Narmi Ford, I read out what's on the paper. Pastor says something to you. What are we still arguing here? So I'm gonna read it again. I'm gonna read it again. Again, not to argue with you. All right. Yeah. So this is here. The ultimate goal of Phoenix is to provide opportunity to get to clubs to get their players transferred. Ultimate goal. We will create the environment, and in return, we would request that should a player be selected, done right there. Phoenix Sports Management will receive 30% of the transfer fee and 20% of the sell on. So 20% of the sell on and 30% of the transfer fee. So you just do what you want to do. You just do what you want to say and the mathematics of anything. All right. You know more than everybody else. I have some people here. They them desperately want to tell people say them know more, and then nobody no believe them because nobody will support them. So if them know so much, provide the evidence. Say you know so much. Just sit down, man. So listen and comprehend. The chat says 50%. JD didn't say 50%. Pastor explain is transfer, the 30% of the transfer itself. So overall it's 25%.
How it becomes 25% when they are two separate things? It is as you read it, JD. It cannot be. You see, the thing is, the transfer fee is not the same as the sell-on fee. So when you do it, it just don't add. They just need to take it how you read it. They just need to take it how you read it. The first the first transfer fee would be from the club that they're attached to the club that is selecting them. It is 30% of that. That club that is taking them is going to develop them, so they are going to sell them, or not, or when that club sells them, that is where you get a sell on fee. the player would have the player would have increased in value. So he wants 20% of what this club in Jamaica would get from the sell on fee.
Pastor, you know, listen to yourself.
No, I'm saying they should not. They should just take it how you read it.
But just look at the chat. So why is it everybody saying something different? You don't realize that?
No, but that's what I'm saying. I don't see why they are trying to beat you up over
Mr.
it.
Dockland, Mr. Dockland, you're here now. JD, stop looking for ways to badmine Butler. It's
Oh
better
my God.
than any other club is offering. And then he comes back again. Pastor just educate you on the maths part. But Danfar said it's 25%.
How does it become 25%? It, and that is why I stress the point that the document is properly constructed, That's why I stress that point, because you cannot take it to say what the document did not say. You can't take it to say what the document didn't say. Otherwise, the document would not serve any purpose.
All right, you know what? You know what? It is 25%, people. It is 25%. Gonna sign up all of the people them.
No,
It's
JD,
25%, all right?
don't concede to that faction. No.
Fast up, listen to me. It's 25%. So please go and sign up. When you go and sign up, it's 25%, all right? Yes. It's 25%. No, Jason, I'm not taking any call on the stream. This is how it ends. 30 more minutes. Me just go run. So just type where I type and me will read it out. No, it is 25%, so I'm done. I'm not in any argument. Let me move on. My bad man, Mr. Butler, when I had the only objection I had said is why is it when Mr. Speed did say he wanted 60,000? I had not said anything else, you know. I had not even talk about anything, you know. I've only said why one time Mr. Speedy want him 60,000. Everyone had a problem with that and say that him a whole long youth and all sorts of stories. Al J came in and said to us, stated that, oh, the problem was the youth had said that he never signed anything. Well, we not read a letter out and the man say, I just you never remember and the people are out of proportion, but we still continue with the argument. So what it tells me now, on a bad mind, Mr. Speed. Just like when I say my bad man, Mr. Butler, when me just ask a question, you know, that started from where it started when I only need a bad mind, Mr. Speed then. Because that's how it look now. Because you know want to put everything to bad mind. Then, all right.
Swindle, deprive,
So
scam, all of those words you could label against that they are doing against Mr. Speed because they don't want to pay the man in 400 US for the transfer. So, Jenny, you see, the long and short of this, is that the football demographic in Jamaica, you cannot discuss or analyze anything that has to do with certain faction. It just don't make no sense.
uh, all right. As we said, the numbers we have the number all over the place. Um, No, 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 no. No calling today. No calling today. I only have 30 more minutes, and I'm not going to extend it past 30 more minutes. So no calling today. And next time I will try to do that. All right? Because if I take the call, my stream start lag up. And what the point of calling? You want to tell the fans whatever you want to tell the fans. Real baller. If it a crack up the people, I'm not gonna hear it regardless. You understand me? Issa said the fees them too high. 10 to 15% should be and the standard. So, Issa, are you reading off the papers of the other the normal standard? Because that's the first person I saw actually put in a number. All right. Yes. So, well, big up, Mr. Issa Allen. Mirak said, but Butler wasn't transferring the player. He was waiting to cite the player on a free. Okay. Marlon Nelson said it's good for him to organize a competition, but I have to see it happen to see it happen first. All right. Martin said JD Alj will always defend Craig. Craig fanboy, he said, okay, God, good damn. Pagan says $400. MPW said JD the person is a novice to mathematics. He's trying to average something that is not related. He missed the part of the class. Dan Farah said JD, I think the only issue is saying 50% overall. Okay, well problem was I had said 50% overall. That may be wrong. That is true. So the 30% and the 20% I should have maybe context it different. So I'm very sorry for that. Dan Farah. GS Laguna, transfer fees 100%. Phoenix get 30%. Ceylon fee is 100%. Phoenix get 20% of that. 50% of 200% is 25% of two fees. That's where the 25%
Whoa.
would come from. Um, well,
I did
No,
I did introduction to calculus. That
well,
when just say a while ago is why you have accountants go to prison for doctoring figures. Because here is where he goes wrong. It is not 25% of nothing because the two cannot be joined. The two
uh,
cannot be joined. So you
yeah, but
cannot have 20.
no, but the writer knew that it cannot be joined because what he's doing, he's trying to get you lock you into a second sell-on clause. So that means they will sign a contract for you. You have no pull on it, and the club that wants you, they are going to detail those instructions. So that means they have to pay for that, and also they want a sell-on clause in that. You understand me? So it cannot be registered as a 25. No agent would say that is a 25 at no point because a 25, or you'd have said a 25 is. And why can't be a 25 for me? You're signing it up on the first day. You understand me? So, for instance, Pastor, you have the club. You have the club. Right. And I come to you and said, all right, tell you what now. You're going to sign to me because if you're not signed to me and I send you to this club, I can't gain nothing because you have not developed by me and you have not signed to me none at all. So you're gonna sign over to me for me to get the 25%, the 30% first. That is the whole purpose because I can't take your development fund because you have already passed the age that I'm going to get any money at the development fund. So I'm going to get a 30%. And because I am the one going to instruct for the second sale on, I need to get 20% out of that. So if you can't add up both of them, you have to just say that okay, it's two installment he's taking from him. Period. All right,
All
because
right.
you can't. I understand what he's trying to say, because it's two separate deals. But no, it can't be registered as a
Mathematically,
25.
it doesn't go the way he's saying it. The $400 that Mr. Speed is owed
Mm-hmm.
to transfer the young man. Based on this document, Craig is saying if the club is taking, let's say one of the scouts want a player, that $400, Craig wants $120 out of it. Now, when that club takes the player overseas, further develop the player, and is selling the player, if that player is sold for $1 million, Craig want $200,000 out of it. So if the Jamaican club here from which
So,
he comes from, if from which he comes from,
no,
is
but but
getting
but but
$1 million,
but Pastor, what Jason is trying to say, he wants 25% of all transaction, and because the transaction, what he's trying to sign you on is a 200%. So he wants to batch everything, but what you're trying to do is to go into the details to tell people that it sound that way like it's a 25%, but then you put it in the figures now.
in
It's
accounting and
almost
mathematics, it
like a
cannot be.
terroristic act. It's like a terroristic act
It's
on
a
that.
criminal act that you have to doctor the
So,
books for that
so
fitting
you
night.
bring a man to one game and you can make up to. So, for instance, if that guy goes to one of the small Scandinavia clubs, he gets sold, he get bought for maybe 400,000. You get 30% of that 400,000 done. Your club get the rest, and everything is all right. And you set up your weekly wages and everything. So, if you should go on like Cephas and perform very good for 1 year and then get assigned for $2 million, Mr. Butler is going to collect 20% of that $2 million.
Which would be $400,000. Which would be $400,000.
Which is what they were $400,000 just a while ago. And all he's doing that off is just because he put on an event and you come at the event and someone else evaluate you as a footballer and sign you. But because of his event, you came on. People, I'm very sorry. All of you are the biggest Butlerites. You cannot agree with that, brother.
No,
Brother
but
Pastor.
JD, here is what happened now. this is where you again, and this is why I credited the construction of the document
No, I
first.
understand, Pastor.
This
So
is
let me
hold
just
on,
say,
no, hold on. Craig is putting up the money to host them now. So wherever he's getting that money from, he is doing an investment. No, this is a businessman. And the only thing you can
Mirak said I'm
say,
wrong. Mirak said I'm wrong. Mirak said I'm wrong. So explain to me, Mirak,
how?
what? No, Mirak said I'm wrong on it. He said I'm wrong on it. All right. All right. So Mirak,
How?
no, let me go through it stage by stage. So Mirak, so you agree? So the first Ceylon, you said my maths is wrong. All right. So my maths is wrong. So my maths is wrong, Mirak. So 30% of the transfer, Mirak. So 30% of the transfer is right. He's gonna get 30% of the transfer. Let me just go through it so we make sure we are on page. So Mirak, he's gonna get 30% of the transfer. That would be the transaction between the first club that he's going to go. Like whatever the cost is, where the man will see him at the event, like him, and him want to cut out the Jamaican thing. Let me just start straight. A person come evaluate the player, he likes the player. 30% that first deal, is it not saying that he's gonna get 30% of that? Just let me stop right there, Mirak. Just said yes or no, Mirak. Yes or no. And then we can the salon is a percentage of the second salon.
It's not a second
All
salon.
right,
JD, they keep trying to take
just
it out of what the document says. They keep
no.
trying to take it.
What I'm gonna do then, because maybe I am having it wrong, Pastor. What I'm gonna do, um, I am going to bring the first transfer paper, and I'm going to give you the meaning of Ceylon. Ceylon. I'm going to have the meaning of Ceylon, and then we will talk about it. All right. I'm going to do it that way. So when I have the Ceylon here, unless he means something different, because in Jamaica some of the words they mean different things. So maybe these guys understand different things. No, Pastor. That is true. That is true. That is no disrespect. Sometimes we word things a little bit different. So I'm gonna bring
And
the
that
paper.
is why I am not open to speak to this outside of the document that you read from. JD, the document in football transferring of players, you can have first salon, second salon, and third salon clause within the agreed document. You can have a multiple salon clause. This document speaks to credit collecting from two, only two, the transfer and the salon, which is one salon. So this to argue it outside of the document that I is clearly is properly constructed. It's a non-issue, JD. The reality is that it couldn't be no plainer. It couldn't be any plainer. You know. He says where he wants to collect from. Now, if you want to argue that the percentages are too high, that's a different conversation. He is clear. He is clear. The, the transfer fee is not a sell-on. It's not a sell-on. So he wants 30% of the transfer fee.
I'm very miracle. Look at him working at Mr. Butler office, and fire gonna say him working at Mr. Butler office. So I don't know
But it don't matter when work, JD. This is a legal
what you're
document.
saying here, but boy, oh boy, I have never seen
This
something.
this is a legal document. You read the document. So all right.
So people want to take the picture of it, whatever way you know and take it. So just clip it and then take it, because I mean, I'm not gonna hide. When you go and research it in yourself, people. All right.
It don't these people are behaving as though I don't want document you read. This is a this is a contract that you
Mirac,
are required to sign on to get into the program.
Mirac, send it to my Wemaxit account because I have this right here. I have it right here. So I want to see what explanation you're saying that is not stated, because you're going to tell me that Mirac, send it to my Wemaxit account, please. Type in Wemaxit and send it to me. Mirac, send it to my Wemaxit account, please. Please. Mirac, just send it to my Wemaxit account because we don't want to get wrong here. Marlon said, JD, it's simple. He will receive 20% of the sell-on clause. The club will receive uh the club will receive for the second transfer. But Marlon, but we know that's not that we are saying. But the man said so.
That is what the document says.
So we are waiting for Miracle to send me the details them because tell you what we want to see what because that means so that means Miracle because me just put it on on the screen it is exactly what the man write. So that means if it's something different it mean Miracle that not spell good. So Miracle provide me with information please. You just look for the Wemax send it to us. Yeah Miracle we are waiting for you Miracle. Continue Pastor. But you
Uh,
say Pastor correct. But you say Pastor correct, Miracle. So what? Oh God. All right. So tell you what. Based on what you guys heard, because we have to read off the paper. We don't work with Mr. Butler. We don't know not Mr. Butler. That's what he wrote. Is it a fair deal for a person to see a person play? Just put on a meeting for a person to come and play football? Duckland said the 30% seem fair to me. Damn. Remember, remember the document is speaking for the club in Jamaica. Yes, no, but Ghana, it is speaking for Jamaica as well, for one, but the second one as well for himself, and he's involved in both. Fire Gunner, because remember when he's signing over, that deal is just gonna come over to him for him to manage the player, but also it's going to be on that document to state that okay, this is what the player will be sold for. So 30% of that will be for the Phoenix management instant. Done. But the sale on is where we are trying to have the argument on. Yeah, Mirak, I am waiting. You don't, Mirak, you text me on. All right, hold on. Mirak, you text me on the Imaxit, please. Send it to my Wemaxit, not the Imaxit. Pastor, it will not be plain to people who are looking to create a different narrative. Duckland, you have a problem with me, big man. So you just meet me out of the middle of Belgium and make me just stomp it out, and then we stop talk from that point. Just meet me out of Belgium, and then we will not have to talk about who will be talking about narrative. Brookfoot boy, let me just fix you finally for good. All right? Yes, man. Okay, they are shut of him out. You are shut of him out. All right. Peter Mystic said, my question is why is anyone in the chat so concerned about the percentage? Does anyone have a player that they develop for sale? If not, don't worry about it. JD, the 30% is high, but the 20% from the sell-on clause from which the club receive in Jamaica. Yes, Master Man, the
JD,
man of the thumb, the one, Duckland in the mid top. Yes, enough with this boy. I come and talk with me a sell narrative. When I'm waiting on the proof, okay, I'm gonna sell narrative when Miracle came have the proof, so me I wait for Miracle to send me the proof. All right, and then this boy Duckland talk about me a sell narrative. So me have the thump in my mid top. Wicked, some violent thump in my mid top to stop ramp with me. No, CC, me not have the time for no calling. No. Carlin, wait till I
JD,
have the next Carlin program.
again, I'm going to try to go through
All right.
this
So
another time.
hold on. Karim Grant. Oh, Karim Grant. I said, Karim, you have voice note. You send me Karim. Oh, you send me voice note. When you think you send me some proof? All right. So, all right. So I can play a voice note, Mirac. Let me know. But I mean, me not take the Carlin big boss. It going damage the whole of my stream. That's hold on, man. You are drive. So, all right. Let me play it. So, can I play it, sir? Um. Okay. Let me put it here. And see there now. Let me take out the Bluetooth because I peer foolish is up on my phone, yeah, man. All right. How we are breaking down, right? Up until I reach the sell-on clause. Because the sell-on clause is the home club getting a percentage of whatever the players get sell for at the second time. So it's like when SIFA did SIFA Sika Macedonia, a sell-on clause would be the transfer fee, a percentage of the transfer from SIFA's leaving Macedonia to Turkey. So oh, so the transfer money with SIFA, they would have paid for SIFA's from Macedonia, would have come back on it. Mr. Butler want 20% of that money, not the 100% that him going to Turkey. Yeah, but no that we say we never so who the things that me I say them want let me break it down. Okay, now me understand where Karima said. Look at the people never understand what me I say. No, we never said Butler want 100%. Nobody had said that. First thing, the first seal on was 30% that is to go to the club in Scandinavia to play. Yes, that's what we said. Done. Then the sale on has to be from a club to the next club. So first thing, the player will not be signed into any club for a one-time fee. It has to have a sale on in it, a sale on clause. So off that percentage, so for instance now when the second sell upon the second sale upon of the player, then the sale on whatever the sale on figure is. So if them say 20% of the transfer, then Arnett should get then. Well, Mr. Butler have to get 20% off that sale on. But that's what we meant. That's what we had said from day one. So, Pastor, okay, now the problem go wrong, Pastor. No. Because what they were saying, they thought that we were saying that if the player go for 1 million, 1 full million, you are going to sign a sale on that. So the club, so for instance, the club that you're buying with the club that sold the player will not get the whole of the money out of the sale on. No, the next club will get the 100%. Then the contractual agreement of the sale on, if a 20% of the player, 25% of the player, sale on can go up to all 40%, depending on how much you couldn't pay at the first and the value of the player. So if it goes up to 30-40%, then out of that 30-40%, the $1 million becomes 300-400,000. Then out of that, which is 100%, going back to the club, then now the 20%, Mr. Butler will get out of that.
JD,
So now
I don't
that's what
think
we
there
just
was an issue with how we explained it. There's an issue with how they were interpreting it. They weren't listening properly.
no maybe
It
but
is out.
okay well no
Let's
I think
use
everyone
let's
understand because
use let's use let's use let's use Whisper. Whisper is
no
attached to
pastor
Phoenix.
pastor no pastor
No, Whisper is attached to
we're not
Phoenix.
gonna mention that
He
name
went to
no
Chelsea.
pastor no pastor
All
Lord
right.
God
Okay. Okay.
leave it
Let's use Pastor Blake.
everyone
Let's
understands
use
now
Pastor Blake. Let's use Pastor Blake.
so
Let's use Pastor Blake.
Dockland pastor Blake you never get sale go nowhere nobody never buy you for no club so leave
No,
it
but
alone
I
pastor
was using a player who was transferred, and you don't have to use
Pastor,
that.
you never get by nowhere. You can't tell people say you better than Messi. And the other day you try to convince me, say you did better than I wish the ball again. Low it, Pastor. Low it. Leave
Hello.
it alone.
Okay. All right. I am going to use Rudolph Austin. I'm going to use Rudolph Austin because I live in the community from which Rudolph Austin is from. When Rudolph Austin was sold first,
But Pastor,
Chateau,
Pastor, the man himself
Chateau.
understand now. The man himself
Oh,
understand
they
what me say.
understand. Okay, no.
See,
If they
they
type in the chat
understand,
that they
Pastor. So we're
understand, we're
done with
good.
that. We're done
We're
with that.
good. We're good. We're
Now
good.
let's ask people if it's fair. I don't think it's fair for me to walk up. My argument was, Dockland, one more and thump in him head Senate. Let me make you know this, Dockland. My argument was, is it fair for me to walk up to a place and just play a match where is not him evaluating me to tell me say me good enough? Is the other people where me go sign to? I tell me something good enough. And just that alone, because you put on that event, it is worth 30% Dockland. I still believe that 30% first one was actually too high, and I still believe that the 20% of the Ceylon is too high as well. I think both
All
of
right.
them is too high.
JD, you know why I would not make that categorical statement? I do not know the cost borne by Mr. Butler to put on this event. If you go to a lawyer, a criminal lawyer, or an accident lawyer, their percentage is from 33% to 55. Johnny Cochran charged 55% in a brother. Because
Pastor,
you don't have to put one, no, JD, watch this. Because
oh
you
my
do not
goodness.
have to put
Sometimes I tell you.
$1 up
You know, let me
front.
lead our professional players then contract. So you can know fear that stop the foolishness and just stop. Pastor, me say too high. Just listen, man. Mister try tell people we are going to hear them have to negotiate these things. The club
Okay.
them we want
I
club
don't
we
have the
want money to
information you have, so
develop.
update me.
We need club to develop in the country. We don't need an next man to get more richer out of things. You claim to say you want help Jamaican people pitney. That's not help Jamaican people pitney, Pastor, and helping Jamaica football. That is you controlling your narrative, brother. So sometimes that's a more Tom Duckland staying at time head. You understand me? I don't believe nothing like that right. 30% of nothing right. It's not true, Pastor. It's just because you couldn't get any developmental develop funding because you never keep the people playing for nothing. You just keep a 1 day event, somebody see you, and you need 30% plus 20% pastor. That is madness. We are talking about pastor, that is not doing a liar and a foolishness that pastor. Now tell me the foolishness, brother. I'm your man. You act like people
I
don't know
don't know. I don't know what the pricing is
Let me
within that range. So and as well, I don't know what the cost to bring these scouts that he's put in the document that are coming. I don't know what the cost he's bearing to get them there. So that's why I wouldn't just out and say it is too high.
Well, for me, pastor, it's too high. All right. Marlon said, JD, it's a third party transfer, like all of the other ones them as well, Marlon. It's very common in South America, but the agent have 50% of the player's ownership. Dean Sowell says, but Marlon, that's a forceful ownership, Marlon. Because the one in South America is different, Marlon. You are forcing someone to come to your event because they want a little help, and then automatically they have to sign over 30% to the one for 1 day. So he's not going to be looking anything for you after that. You understand me? It's if the deal go through, that's when you're gonna sign it over to him. So if you tell me, say, all right, so if I deem you okay, then you can sign to me after, and I will take the cut of 30%, and I will guarantee you to get a contract by such and such year. Then I will consider it, Pastor. You see where I'm coming from? But not when other football analysts analyze my game and then pick me right there. And the only thing is, because you are in charge of an event, you take 30%. Oh, people can't see what me I say and talk about narrative. You see what Duckland? You see, that is what I am saying. That is my only
I
point.
I understand that, JD. My only issue is because I don't know what is normal in terms of those contractual arrangements as against what it costs to host the event, I would not make the judgment that it is too high. But certainly the conversation must be had on the percentage, whether or not this is fair. And I have no intention to reduce that conversation or minimize the conversation in any way because that is where the argument should actually have been. The time they spent misinterpreting what we were saying, this is where the argument should have been. Should it have been 30% or maybe should it have been 15%? Should it
Uh,
have been 20% or should it have been 10%? That's where the
all right,
conversation should have been.
all right, Pastor. All right. Um, all right. So here now, Duckland says, bigger JD. Me after the thump. Me after the thump in my head, you know. Me after the thump in my head up with him broke foot. All right, I should have been at that game to give you one a pass to them. Take out the wally ankle. Nothing left as the pastor described. Dead. All right, so
But yes,
you're not paying for a match. You're paying for the butler giving you the opportunity to have all these scouts coming and getting you a deal overseas. You're only okay if you get bought. All right, so that's what which he has a point, But I am just saying to Duckland, I just think that the fee is a little bit too high. Duckland, that's all I'm saying. If it was 15%, it's okay for me. And then even if the 50% stay there, and then 10% for the sell on, I am okay because you started it, or you're giving people an opportunity to get out there. But I think 30% just seems like it's not an opportunity, brother. It is for yourself.
but
And you can
JD,
and this story of you are getting, you know what, Dockland. The only thing me can't do, me not gonna pay for the play, the person them come to Jamaica, come scout the people them. But I can get people to see players just the same. Dockland. I mean, I want $1 from the Jamaican body. If me say me help people, you see, Dockland. So you can't. That's my problem. It's either you're doing your business, or you are actually um helping Jamaica. Which one is the two? Don't tell me you help me, but your check your check needs to be bigger than everybody else faster. That is my problem. You get me? Me not like
I said
you help
earlier,
me, but
I
your
said
check needs to be
earlier,
bigger than everybody else one.
I said earlier, this is a businessman making an investment, ensuring his profit margin. I said that earlier.
So can we stop
Whatever
the
the cost
argument?
is,
So can
whatever
we
the
stop?
cost is, he's
Yeah, Pastor.
getting back that money with profit.
So Pastor, can we stop this stake of Mr. Butler do nothing for Jamaica? And he's just a businessman,
It's an
trying to
investment.
selling business.
Yeah, it's an
All
investment.
right, all right.
But I
That's
said
all.
that
So
earlier.
I
I
will, I
said that
will, I will
earlier.
agree with everybody in the chat, but don't come tell me about him do this to Jamaica. This is an opportunity because you don't have the players them to sell, and you have the links them away from the players them, where you promised them for years, and them can't find them at the rate as you promised them, and you're trying to get the whole of Jamaican ball of them to try and turn up. That is what you're trying to do. So that is you're putting up something to help yourself. But obviously, by that same technicality, you help a few persons. That is true. But you can't just say you're just help Jamaican people off the rip. That does sound right. You're helping yourself while helping some Jamaican youths as well. Simple. So once you do it for Jamaica, you have to make a loss. Ah, sometimes, yes. I heard people we buy ticket for people go to matches. We never make the money back off it. We see people investing at the youth camps them Miami. They don't get any money off it. So they lose off it. And Jamaica never do it for. Me think so when you say I do it, you just do it because you know why me say if you do it for Jamaica, because you need back half of you to get all of the money to try pumping in the youth and development as well. So that's why I wouldn't take 30%. Guys, you have to understand where I'm coming from, I'm not just beat Mr. Butler. I'm just saying 15% are them amount is okay. Enough. I know what Pastor claimed to say. Him claimed to say, oh, you don't know how much the overhead is. Me not care. 15% is enough. Pastor.
JD, and I'm going to
Pastor,
say again,
How much you get 5 scouts at Jamaica?
JD, hold on, because you don't realize that I agreed with you taking the position that you have taken. Hold on, JD. Again, when we use words without applying the definition of the words, or terms without applying their definition, we go into trouble. When Mr. Butler says that he is helping, there's a difference between helping and selling. Two different things that altogether. Now, this is an investment Mr. Butler has made, that he has opened the investment to persons who derive a benefit investment to say that you are helping me. If you are helping me, you cannot be securing a reward. You cannot be securing a reward, which is exactly what the document stipulates that Mr. Butler is ensuring his profit margin by virtue of the structure of the document. So to use the word helping is not morally correct.
And that's
You can
all I
use it
want,
because it's an
boss.
English word and you can speak it,
I just
but
want
it's
the
not correct.
story to I just want the story to stop of me helping people, because that is not the actual truth there. You are trying to expand a business because clearly you couldn't develop so much ballers to be sold overseas. You get two in how much years that goes to the level that you want them. So if you can expedite that process, and now you have the connection to get a few people here. So you're gonna bring them and play the game, and who likes who just pick who. It was not Reese James. Reese James ain't coming anywhere. It's the manager of him coming here. All right, so he's just trying to hype up the list, the paper itself, to make you know the quality of players, people coming here. You don't know Mr. Butler talk, man. You can know him write that as well. You can
JD,
just send
let
talk.
me say it this way. What Mr. Butler is proposing is akin to friends with benefits.
And I'm okay with that. People listening, I have nothing against Mr. Craig Butler. All I'm saying is, if you're doing it, don't come and tell me say you're doing this to help Jamaica. That's all we can argue. I am okay with what you're doing because people have to sign up with it. But if you had 15%, maybe clubs would have been less reluctant to send their players. So you could have even had more people at the trial. You understand me? When them read it, it just seems like, okay, this don't look like an opportunity because I have to sell up everything. And maybe if we wait one more
So the
year,
club would operate at a loss.
if we wait one more year, Mama, I can still get my player to MLS, which might be better than it get to MLS with a sell-on clause, which might be better than go into Scandinavia. You understand me? So maybe you will turn off people with that. That's all I'm saying, people. So
But
I think
JD,
what
look at this.
Mr. United said here, JD, you're right. They just don't want to hear it from you. All right, maybe that is the whole statement. People sounding like
Yeah.
Jamaica, but every time I bring up the realistic thing. All right, you know what? Let me. Duckland said, JD, me just dust off my boxing gloves within Brockfoot. The days of you having a normal jawbone are numbered. Oh my God. Jason said, um, it is not a must, but like get a scout, get the scouts here either. These entities have scouting budgeted, so they could be coming on their own dime as well. But that's where I wanted to lead the conversation to educate people on this, because it benefits clubs to go at any location. Worst off if you just found someone from that location. So that's what I'm trying to say, but I never wanted to say out because people would say I'm bad mind. So you guys have to say Jason Guna is
But
bad
JD, they
minded,
say it already,
but
so
not
you're bad
me.
man. So just go and wear the
Yes,
label
so no, I'm not gonna
and do
say
your
that
job.
because no, Jason Guna is bad minded, not me. Yeah, because I've gotten too much bad minded beat up. So I have to say Jason Guna is bad minded. All right.
When you say you get enough, Jason, we get some.
It is called Phoenix Management, not Phoenix Charity. Bap, bap, bap. It looks like he want to look at work over there now. It looks like he's looking at work over there, The one Duckland, He's looking at work over there, Yeah, man, he's looking at work over there. So people smash the like button. Guys, that we just brought up our arguments, and anybody can go up on the platform and bun me out. Don't agree with me. It's okay. It's okay. I am just giving my knowledge to the game, and I'm just saying 30% seems like a ripoff. That's all I'm saying. With a sale on a 20%. That means you desperately want to gain as much as possible. You understand me? That no seems like you're helping Jamaica.
A
That don't seem
business
so.
is
And any
established to
pillow
make
man come onto the
profit.
video, yeah, and tell me nothing different, man. Watch me out now. I'm too wicked, man. Aldrin,
JD,
pillow
JD,
man, all of the
JD,
plebeians.
JD. A business is established to make profit. When you beg the Chinaman, even when you work at the Chinaman supermarket, and you beg him for a sweetie, that costs $1. When he tell you if you take it, you watch him correctly. Him give you the sweetie and not the business. So he take the $1 out of him pocket and put it in the till. Because the business is not helping you.
Okay. Well, but one
He's
thing
the China man himself.
I've gained some
Mr.
clarity.
Butler did not did not remember. You read the document. Phoenix management in collaboration with Phoenix Academy.
Okay.
This is a business.
Okay. All right. Yes,
A
the
business is
Phoenix line.
established
The
to
Phoenix
make
line.
profit. So nobody will helping thing. It is not a charity thing.
Yeah, so when we hear Mr. Butler, we don't want to hear about where we are help the Jamaican pitney.
So
We just
when
want to
Mr.
hear say, me are one of the biggest product of getting Jamaican pitney out of the country. Done. Simple. So you know,
So
say
if
the
Mr.
ticket
Butler
it
want
comes
to
with a
tell
price
you,
tag.
if Mr. Butler want to tell you that he gave Pastor him assist Pastor back in the day, or if Pastor did get help from Mr. Butler, and me want to say, Mr. Butler help me. It's because Mr. Butler did give me lunch money.
Yes.
I've never met him personally. I'm just using an example. I've never met him personally. So it would be that Mr. Butler help me. Phoenix management and Phoenix Academy is a business.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Butler may help people because I've heard persons say them the right benefit from Mr. Butler. But you cannot expect charity from the business. The business is a profit making entity.
Well, fair enough, Pastor, but you guys have to accept me because when I heard him talking, it was always like you're helping Jamaican kids. So, and I was just bringing back to say people is so hypocritical you guys are, and you're not calling out the hypocrisy here. Because first, when Mr. Spade said he wanted him 60,000, which is 400 US dollars, nobody wanted to pay him. All right, Richardson said uh, when you look for the definition of bad mind in the encyclopedia, um it shows JD face. All right. So no, Richard Stewart said me bad mind, Mr. Phoenix. No. Because first he said, I saw him, he's a hypocrite as well, one Richard Stewart, because himself will stop pick up for Mr. Speed them or what I'm bringing up, the examples that I'm bringing up, it seems like me I pick up for Mr. Speed them, which I'm just bringing up an next example to show or the hypocrisy from the fan base. Because I'm saying when Mr. Speed say want him see him 400 US dollars, the whole I want to say, oh, him a whole long the youth them when anybody can pay 400 US dollars, anybody from planet Earth. You understand me? No, not anybody from planet Earth, but it's nothing to pay. You understand me? And him never want to pay it. Him try to use sympathy to make Uno pay it. Then him can sign him up to these ones. All right? Yes. And then him collect him money and then the whole only laugh. And everything is all right. No, everybody in Jamaica make the money. Worst off when me know so the money will be invested back into the clubs them. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. Phoenix not no club team. So I don't know where to invest back in. You understand me? Know so if Harborview get the seller and value, they're going to invest it back in their club because they have to keep their club afloat. You understand me, Pastor?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
JD, do agent get a percentage of sell-on? No, not always, Neil. But you can put it in a contract. But you definitely get a transfer fee percentage, and it can go up from 2% to anywhere 15%. That's where I knew it. 2% to 15%. So when I heard 30% plus 20% sell on, me have to actually ask my brethren where actually is a manager at this point. Him is a manager for players. That's going big. So I'm gonna ask him when have these fees raised? Look like you have more money than what we think. Because the other day Mayor said make a big deal of selling a player for 20 million. So 20 million seems like you have a serious amount of money, you know? So no, me start a calculator my head and say, all right then. So anytime I doing little work, me I go want a little bit more money.
You go up
Yeah, man, I'm
your
gonna
commission
outside cold.
percentage have to go raise.
Yeah, man, outside cold, man. Any drills, me I do anything. If me I work for 2 hours, me gonna need more money, man, because them player percentage seems a little bit high, you know. So that's why I know. That's why I know that the, but I understand that it's lower money. These players might get sold for, so it might not be the same as you selling someone from Netherlands to Spain and stuff. I understand that, but it still don't change because you never may know where the sailor will go, because it might just go to Spain just the same. You get me? Yes. With that said, JD Butler is starting the clubs with the 20% sell-on fee. And that's all I'm saying. But people just want to beat me. No, the whole day now you're gonna hear some JD Badman Butler, and that'll be the talk for every stream for the rest of the day. You know? Yes. In the notes of JD, I could get a youth agent from England for you to speak to. See, yeah, man, get him. And I can bring on people as well, just the same for people to listen, you know. But they're gonna say I'm bad minded. I was the one to tell my friend, so it best you get your friend and just let him come on when I do this live stream. You get me? And then I put him on it. So I don't want to have no connection with the person. Me and the person just have a dialogue instant when he clicks the link. Because they're gonna say I am the one influence the people. This is how delusional some of these pillar mannings, you know. So I have to make sure I have no attachment or connection with the people. Big boss, in the know.
Um, JD, you
You
often
can sign up
make
for an agent
reference.
license. You can sign up and wait for the time and go in and do the test. Michael, that's how you get the agent license. Big up yourself, Demo. Oh, you do, man. It can't be extortion, people. If you don't like Butler's offer, just go over to Cavalier or another club and get your transfer. Oh my God. Woo! Our pastor, we have 5 more minutes, pastor. Go ahead, take the 5 minutes because
Yeah, I'm going to
the
say you
new
often
cult
say
the new cult member, Dockland Stennett, he has arrived. You know.
it. You often say we have a cultural problem. I can tell you from personal experience. What you just said that you don't want to have any connection with the person prior to them clicking the link and be on a live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you do that, you will not be able to convince those persons that you did not pre-prepare him for the street. You won't be able to. I can speak from personal experience. Some very affluent, erudite persons in their field that I have been accused of convincing to the point of rewiring their mental construct to take my side on issues. Now, I know I have a little bit of talent, but I never knew I was as good because I'm talking top people in their fields. I have been accused of getting them, swaying them to change what would be their opinion to side with me. So I'm telling you straight off the bat that even if you put out the disclaimer, which you did, you're not going to convince anybody because who is of that mindset? No, you won't. So leave
That's
that as it is. And you get the person and speak. Don't let that part worry you because it's not going to happen. You're not convincing nobody out of the pillow gang. If he
mm-hmm.
come here and say anything that they don't think he should have said, and you tell him this is so. It
Well,
done.
one thing I know that means if the club, I'm gonna watch this event, and if I see five, six, 200 players go there, you know my next deal now. I'm done with YouTube. Me I go struck. Me I gonna make some connection with some clubs now in Jamaica and actually get people to come and see them players them as well too. All right, professional clubs, real clubs. No man, the real clubs that me I send me I make come. So anyone who know watch this video and want contact me, please do.
Your
All right, and we
percentage
can
will
do
be
some business.
30%. Your
We
percent.
not a percentage. We not we made us a reason, and we do some business. People call me. Let me see if I can call because me a third party just to see him. Cause me not no agent license and me not no football license as yet. So me a third party just to see him. So call me and we can work out something. So you get a second option. That's all I'm saying. Because when I'm hearing these things, it looks like say Me can sell some player too. You understand me? It look like me can sell some player too. So I'm taking it off. I know. I am serious. I'm gonna have to start sell some player too. You know? Yeah, man. YouTube now make no
But
money.
Jenny, isn't
YouTube now
that
make no
going to
money.
be isn't that going to be fuel for Duckland and company to say, you
Them
bad
can say
mind
them
today,
want
you're
to.
cutting to the man, you're cutting to the man
Well,
market.
no, but well, no, me can beat them and say, but you're not hypocrite because this man wanted such and such. So why I can't do it now? I'm take less. But them a go come on my program and say me bad mind the man now because me just do that
Yes.
because son help people pick and I give a less rate, you know. Me bad mind him. And that you got hear now.
Hmm.
When all me I do is just provide a different option. You know, so
But
anybody serious in Jamaica
all
with me,
right,
football, let me talk some business, man. Let me go
if you
right
set
now
up
Europe
if you
and get
set
some
up your shop
everybody
and
number.
sell things cheaper than my shop, me bun down to your shop.
Oh, well,
And
but them have to
that's what
bun
you
down,
want to
but me
make,
I
I
tell
know.
you, me say if when them call me on $50, I'm work run to the $50 them. We talk some business. So Marlon call all of the man them. Let me go on a tour around Europe. I'm gonna get everybody from Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, everybody, and we make up a date and send them come to Jamaica. Yes. If we have seriously $50 where people look for, we can really make that happen. So we need to start investing in those things too as well. You know, because it looks like say we can make some real food, you know. So people want to say about that, you know. No, not gonna say my bad mind regardless, you know. My channel starting in a few days. I will get to dust you out good and proper, Mr. JD. All right. Third party at least. Yeah, man, a third party the thing there. All right. Me no business. I'm gonna say people after this video wanna call me. Please call me because me dey there do everything and I work in a cool every day. So right now me that want work in a less cool, you know. So yeah. So people, please, wanna call me. All of the clubs around Jamaica call me. Me internet, me Instagram, there, everything there. Me not hide. I'm a very much transparent. You know, I get every real document. Everybody, you know, I get. I only can link them after as well too. After the deal, call me, please. Me I beg you now. All right, so Pastor. That should make sure you make the contract public. Yeah, man, of course, man. But make sure me tell you how it going on. If we can find $50, what we know say can break through from age 17 to 23. Yeah, man, me ready, man. Me ready, man. Me ready to drive around. Me will spend all of my money for go everywhere. Contact everybody. We don't have to worry about nothing. And then we talk about the contract. You know? Yeah, man. Once we can prove that are true, we will do that. I mean, no other people will see what me I try to do and come on board. No, we're not talking about no percentage, Jason. We just are trying to get the people in there. If them sell it, if we truly have $50, we get the people in there, and from there, we talk about percentage. You know, that's what we could have do. You know, because me just feel like say we can do a little bit more. You know, we can do a little bit more. So, Mr. Speed, call me. Um, Tapper, call me. Me I wait. You know want to sell baller? Just send me go anyway. We'll find everyone in people have to talk to. No worry about it. Just call me and
What you
tell
say?
me
What you say? Speed
anybody when
and
you want.
Tapper. Your, the previous national coach and the future one to call you.
Call me. The one
Yes.
on to call me. Anywhere me have to go. In a Europe for getting a player. All if I in a Scandinavia, me I go there too. Me maybe not a connection in Scandinavia, but me I go there too. Or me can get people to get to them over there too. So no worry. Call me. I make go work out some deal. All right. So people, JD, do you have a link to the document? I want to discuss it with some friends. Tachala, yeah man. Me will post it in. Me will just ask the guy, will send it to me, and then once him say yes, me just post it in on my Discord, and you guys copy it. JD price will be 80% of your weekly salary. Tapa not selling the baller. Tapa buy players. All right. So Pastor, all right, give you a final take. Me I go for the pitney and come back. When me carry key then. Yeah. So yeah,
Well,
because Pastor, my tougher. You can see the truck, Pastor.
yeah.
All right. So now go on do your thing and then when we come back. Yeah, because I'm gonna pick her up. People, I know when they get over 100 likes. So yes, yeah, no can't rate, man. I don't even like the video. And me not cry, but
94 out of
me know me can get
156.
players
That don't
sell.
look good.
Me know me can get players sell, me sure of that. Alright, so wanna check me. Wanna put me for the test, man, find the ball in me, man. And me could do it in, man. Hit the like button. Pops and me so come.
People is showing 153 persons on the show and only 95 likes. That is just about 60%. Come on, do better than that. The richness and quality of the program has literally been very close to 110%. So we should at least have 120 likes minimum. Because even the pillow young men, you would have to concede that this show this morning, even though you know like some things, it was quite clear. Or you want to see the document in the know. JD did say he will consult the person who sent it to him if he is okay to make it public. And once he gets that confirmation, he will post it in the Discord and the other places that he normally posts things. So just wait on that. Him receiving that conversation, that confirmation in the know. Um, JD, don't say that they may say that you sound like Miss Cleo. Oh Lord. Uh, I don't think he will operate for those who are contemplating him using the same 30% that, that Butler is using. I don't think he will operate outside of the international standard. And he was quoting 2 to 15%. So, yeah, that may very well be where he would operate. I just want to say that we need to be careful, especially when there's a document produced, that our conversations stay within the purview or the parameters of that document, because everything we do does have a legal attachment to it, which literally we're responsible for. So these conversations should always be informative and instructive, and we should learn to conduct ourselves despite our obvious biases towards certain things, that we be responsible enough to be truthful at all times, operate within these these documents and what is stated there, and we can learn from this. I want to say, JD,
Mm-hmm.
that I appreciate the fact that he has produced this.
Yeah, that is true. We give him
Yes,
credit for that.
you know, give him
Yes,
credit for having organized the
and I don't want people. I agree with Pastor, but that's why I don't want people to take it as if like I'm eating on him. Because all I'm
Mhm.
just saying is because she sells this belief that he's helping people, and I'm saying this is not about help. This is about you doing a thing, and maybe some people get some help through it, but you're benefiting, benefiting bigger than anybody else, because the club, if you want this thing to be sustainable, the club should get a bigger cut so they can stay alive. That's all I was trying to
Yeah,
argue, to be honest.
and
JD,
anybody,
are you going to own the image right of the players? Anything in the contract, that's where you're going to own. all, all I know, Boss Thomas, better say line up 50 players and then we start do some talking. So the man just link me up. Yeah, so Pastor, we have come to the end. Just pick up Gemma and
yes,
me go drop her off. So people, I'm gonna come back on tonight because me and Sean should have done a Suriname video, and I'm gonna do it on the next channel later because Suriname have some good players lining up and stuff because they're taking the World Cup serious. But JD, the clubs in Jamaica provide the same avenue, even with the SBF Champions Cup. Scout come and watch the semis and the finals. Well, I guess they never sell nobody. So Mr. Butler sell him that narrative. So yeah. Well, Omar, big up yourself, man. Yeah, man. So Pastor, thanks yet again, big boss.
Yes, man.
Okay, Juma
All
say
the
you don't
best.
know.
Gemma,
Yes. Bye bye. Yeah, so
yeah, have a
people,
good day.
tomorrow we'll chop it up again. Tomorrow we'll chop it up again. Yeah, bye bye.